So today I wanted to talk about one of my favourite interplants and how I've refined it over the years to make it ever more productive. So I'm talking about parsnips primarily and how to get a parsnip bed as productive as possible, because parsnips are notoriously low value as a harvest, and obviously they're in the beds for a really long time at the most productive time of year, kind of spring, summer and autumn. So yeah, how did I do it? Well, I started off with a spinach bed, and I planted that spinach bed back in October, and I harvested that spinach bed all the way through winter and into early spring. In March, I harvested every other plant in that spinach bed, and that gave me quite a bit of space. And in those free spaces in that bed, I planted pre-germinated, so chitted parsnip seeds. The details are in my ebook if you want to read up about anything I'm talking about. They germinated or pre-germinated, so they broke surface after about 2 weeks, little tiny parsnip plants. And because the spinach was in a cold frame, they grew away really fast. So those parsnip seedlings really benefited from the cold frame top for the first month or so of their lives. In about April time, I harvested all the rest of the spinach plants. And then so in the spaces where the last batch of spinach came out, I planted modules of Zebrune salad onions. So the beauty of this interplant is that the parsnips are very deep rooted and the Zebrune onions are very shallow rooted. And of course the parsnips, they're quite slow growing. So the Zebrune onions got off quite well and were well above the parsnips, but as the sort of parsnips grew. Didn't seem to affect the Zebrune onions at all. We got a great harvest of those in August time, and left the parsnips in, continuing to grow until September. Now, to be honest, I could have started harvesting the parsnips in August. They were plenty big enough for that. So in September, as we started harvesting them, they were huge. Really huge, the biggest parsnips that I've ever grown. So they really benefited from that early start and that early protection underneath the cold frame. I think they maybe also benefited from the fact that in the cold frame the ground wasn't really saturated, so they had to work a bit hard to put roots down. And of course that meant really big parsnips, really quite long. Anyway, I've just finished harvesting that parsnip bed. I've actually just popped a few into old containers that previously had courgettes in, I think. And that's just so that I can keep them for the next few weeks. So what I'm doing this week, because I've just cleared the bed, is I'm planting spinach in again. This year I'm going to do a little bit more. So I'm going to plant spinach and I'm going to interplant the spinach with salad onions. So, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the parsnips and the onions and everything. So out of a single bed, I'm going to get a continuous harvest of spinach all the way through autumn and winter and early spring. I'm going to get a harvest of salad onions, probably in sort of late autumn and early winter. Then I'm going to get a harvest of onions, and then I'm going to get a harvest of parsnips. So 4 crops out of the same space without any of the plants really suffering as a result of the other plants being there. And that's the way I'm making growing parsnips more cost effective, if you like. And then back in the kitchen garden, we've still got enough parsnips here and in 2 other beds to last us all through winter. And these were interplanted with onions, and we got a really lovely crop of onions from that bed and that bed. And then, much like these, beetroot are interplanted with salad onions. This bed of parsnips was also interplanted with salad onions, and that was an exceptionally good planting. I was really happy with that, and we got a huge crop of salad onions off there. About Let me think quickly. 240, I think. No, 280 salad onions, and then yeah, a really good crop of parsnips as well. My name's Steve. This is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.